Our joint research found three main things. Number one, women and girls are being stigmatized upon their return back to their communities after captivity with Boko Haram. We also found that families are very much so struggling to reintegrate women and girls back into their homes. That includes husbands, brothers, wives, etc. And also that community members, or those applying the stigma, are struggling with reintegrating women and girls back into their community out of fear and out of anger related to the violent conflict itself. We have been able to reach about 4,000 women and girls over the last 14 months, about 15% of them survivors of sexual violence related to captivity with Boko Haram. We were able to put about 1,000 family members through workshops together and to be able to facilitate family reunification with women and girls that were survivors of sexual and gender-based violence and the children that emerged out of that sexual violence. And we were able to reach about 5,000 community members through our workshops to try to reduce the distrust between the community and try to increase the empathy and the courage that everyone had to be able to be a part of their everyday peace, putting their community back together with their own initiatives. This crisis in the Lake Chad Basin is enormous. We have about 20 million individuals affected by this violence, not only in Nigeria, but also in Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. To be precise, we have about 2.1 million displaced persons in Nigeria alone. And if you think about that statistic, we're looking at basically the population size of Paris, France. That's a very large number, and I think it's very important for us to remember that of that number, 1.4 million individuals are at risk of starvation. If you think about that in terms of our everyday reality, we're talking about the population size of something like Birmingham. Overall, I think the message that we want to share is that everyone needs to be a part of the solution, that everybody's role is important, and that we can actually create an entire environment full of peace builders. It's just our responsibility to make sure that peace building is something that is prioritized against the overall landscape of needs of people on the ground.